Stop. Before you keep scrolling, ask yourself one simple question. Have you ever kissed someone, drank from someone else's cup, or maybe been close and personal with someone? If the answer is yes, there's a chance this silent problem might be closer than you think. This isn't a joke. There's an infection almost everyone's heard of, but very few people actually know how sneaky it is. It can stay hidden for months, sometimes even years, without showing any signs at all. That's why millions of people don't even realize they're carrying it. But don't panic. Today, we're breaking everything down: how this hidden infection really spreads, why so many people discover it too late, and which early signs you cannot afford to ignore. Get ready. It's going to be funny, a little scary, and very real. After this, you'll probably think about what's happening inside your body, and you'll definitely check yourself in the mirror at least once. The silent intruder. This infection doesn't burst into your life with alarms and warning lights. It slips in quietly. So quietly that 8 out of 10 people have no idea they've been exposed. The very first sign is something called a hard sore. It sounds like the name of a video game character, but it's actually a small mark or ulcer where the bacteria first entered your body. It can appear on your lips, tongue, around sensitive areas, or even on your fingers. Here's the tricky part. It usually doesn't hurt. It looks harmless, so most people think, no big deal, it'll heal on its own. And yes, it does heal, but that doesn't mean you're fine. It just means the bacteria won the first round. A couple of weeks later, the bacteria quietly spread through your body. They move into your bloodstream, settle in your lymph nodes, and slowly start exploring new areas. At this stage, you're already contagious, but you may feel perfectly normal. That's why so many people only find out by accident, usually when they get tested for something completely different. Here's the real problem. The longer you go without knowing, the harder it becomes to treat. In the early stages, this infection is easy to beat, just a couple of shots and you're fine. But if you ignore it, get ready for surprises you definitely won't enjoy. Unexpected hair loss, rashes across your body, problems with your nervous system, heart complications, and even changes to your vision. And here's a fact most people don't know. This infection can disguise itself as a cold, an allergy, or even mosquito bites. If you get a rash, itchy spots, or slightly swollen lymph nodes, most people shrug it off and move on. But sometimes that's already stage 2. This intruder doesn't announce itself. It works quietly in the shadows. Meanwhile, you keep living your life, kissing, sharing cups, thinking you're fine, and you might be passing it on without even realizing it. In the next part, we'll break down the stages of this infection, from the harmless-looking first signs to the point where the bacteria start attacking your vital organs. This is where things get darker, stranger, and a lot more interesting. Block 3. A brief history of the infection and the stages you never knew about. Before we dive into what this bacteria actually does to your body, let's take a quick look back in time. Believe it or not, this infection's history is more dramatic than a lot of people's relationships. It first showed up in Europe in the late 15th century, around the same time Christopher Columbus returned from his expedition. Some researchers believe sailors brought the bacteria Treponema pallidum from the New World, and that sparked Europe's first major health crisis. Doctors were terrified. No one understood what was happening or how to stop it. Back then, people called it the French illness because the first outbreak hit French soldiers. The French, offended, immediately started calling it the Neapolitan illness, blaming the Italians. The blame kept getting passed around, but everyone kept getting infected anyway. Fast forward to today. This infection is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere, but it's gotten quieter and trickier. Here's what happens inside your body if you ignore it. Stage 1. The silent beginning. This is when the first small sore appears, the painless one. It can show up anywhere. Lips, tongue, skin, fingers. It goes away on its own after 3 to 6 weeks, and you think you're fine. You're not. The bacteria are just preparing their next move. Stage 2, the surprise. A couple of months later, a rash shows up. It can be anywhere: arms, legs, chest, back, and even on your palms and soles. Sometimes your hair starts falling out. You might feel tired and notice swollen lymph nodes. You assume it's just an allergy or something harmless. Meanwhile, the bacteria are spreading freely inside your body. Stage 3, calm before the storm. This is called the latent stage. No symptoms, no pain, sometimes for years. It feels like it's gone, but it hasn't. The bacteria are silently damaging your organs. It's like termites in your house. Everything looks fine on the outside, but inside, it's slowly falling apart. Stage 4, the point of no return. Leave this untreated for years, and it reaches its most dangerous stage. This is where it starts attacking your heart, bones, skin, liver, eyes, and even your brain. People can lose their memory, their vision, their ability to move, and suffer serious neurological problems, all because they thought that small sore would heal on its own. Here's the twist. Unlike centuries ago, this infection can be cured today. One simple treatment, and within weeks, it's gone. But the longer you wait, the more complicated the treatment, and the higher the risk of permanent damage. 7 myths people still believe. The scariest thing about this infection isn't the bacteria itself. It's the myths people believe that stop them from protecting themselves. Let's break down the most common ones. Myth 1. This is an old problem that nobody gets anymore. Wrong. It sounds romantic to imagine it as something from history books, but it's very much alive. In 2024, Europe reported more cases than during the entire 19th century. Thinking it's a problem of the past is one of the easiest ways to get caught off guard. Myth 2. If nothing hurts, I'm fine. Dangerous. This infection is like a silent thief. Your sore heals, your rash fades, your lymph nodes shrink, and you think you're healthy. You're not. The bacteria are already in your bloodstream, planning their next attack. Myth 3. You can only get it from intimate contact. Not true. You can be exposed by kissing, sharing cups or utensils, using someone else's razor, or even during a tattoo session if the tools aren't properly sterilized. That trendy barbershop or tattoo studio you love, if they don't clean their tools, you're at risk. Myth 4. Protection guarantees safety. Not 100%. Protection reduces the risk, but bacteria can enter through tiny cuts or sores on parts of your skin that aren't covered. You can feel safe and still end up exposed. Myth 5. A few pills and you're cured. Not quite. In the early stages, yes, treatment is simple. But if you wait too long, recovery can take months, require multiple procedures, and involve follow-up tests to ensure the bacteria are gone. Myth 6. If my partner looks healthy, they're safe. Not necessarily. By the time symptoms disappear, people can still be contagious. Someone can look perfectly fine and still pass it on without knowing. Myth 7. It doesn't cause serious harm. It can, not instantly, but slowly and painfully. In its final stages, it attacks your heart, brain, and nervous system. You can lose your sight, your memory, and even control over your own body. And it all starts with thinking, this will solve itself. The truth is simple. Getting tested is faster than scrolling through your phone. Being afraid to check is the only real danger. Block 5. When to get tested and what to do if you're positive. Now let's get practical. How do you know when it's time to get tested? The short answer? Probably right now. Get tested if you've had unprotected contact, even once, your partner has had other partners, you notice sores, rashes, or swollen lymph nodes, you just want peace of mind. Testing takes about 15 minutes, and in many places, you get results the same day. It's quick, painless, and gives you clarity. If caught early, treatment is simple. But if you wait too long, recovery can take months, and some complications can last a lifetime. Here's something most people don't know. More than half of patients only find out they've been exposed by accident during routine checkups or blood tests for something else. A lot of them thought they were perfectly healthy. The bottom line is simple. This infection isn't a life sentence if you catch it early. Ignoring it is the real danger. It's patient, it can wait for years. You can't. Block 6. The truth. It doesn't choose its victims. Here's the most important thing to remember. This bacteria doesn't care who you are. It's not about being dirty, reckless, or careless. It doesn't care about your status, your looks, your money, or your followers. Anyone can get it. History is full of famous people who had it. Vincent van Gogh, some historians believe it affected his behavior. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher, eventually lost his sanity. Many doctors blamed this infection. King Henry VIII, rumors suggest it caused his mood swings and health problems. If it happened to them, it can happen to anyone. You might think it doesn't affect you because you're careful. So did millions of others before they got their diagnosis. Every year, there are millions of new cases around the world. This infection is like a hidden enemy in a game. It sneaks in quietly. It hides where you won't notice. It waits until you let your guard down. And if you don't catch it first, it wins. Getting tested isn't scary. What's scary is carrying bacteria that's silently damaging your body. You have two choices. Get tested, breathe easy, and move on with your life. Or keep pretending it doesn't concern you and take your chances. After watching this, think about your health. Think about the health of the people you care about. And ask yourself one question. What's easier, a quick test or dealing with the damage later? If you want to know more about the health issues nobody talks about, stick around. The next video is going to go even deeper.